Colonel Wyatt hits the screen, got stories bold and keen. Old soldier, sharp and mean, tells truths they've never seen. Rugby lover with a roar, Africa flowing in his core. YouTube rants they can't ignore, his passion makes his heart soar. Colonel Wyatt, hear his call, shining light through it all. Trolls may rise, but he'll stand tall. Subscribe now, don't miss the brawl. Military mind, keen and wise, truths come out, no disguise. South African skies in his eyes, hear his voice, no surprise. Retired soldier with the fight, in the dark he brings the light. Angry rants, truths ignite, join the cause, join the ride. Don't miss the brawl. Enemies knocked on his door, trolls attack, but he's more with each click. Watch him soar on the truth waves, he explodes. Colonel Wyatt, hear his call, shining light through it all. Trolls may rise, but he'll stand tall. Subscribe now, don't miss the brawl. Right now, don't miss the brawl.
Take a picture.
Down by the lot near the old cafe where the sun fries cars all night and day, there's a wild crew doing what they do. Yeah, you know them, the parking lot crew. Refugees with moves so tight, waving cars in left and right. 10 ways to say, yo, park that straight. 12 for bro, you're 20 late. Neanderthals in safety vests, snack in hand, but doing their best. One grunted loud, broke out in a jig. Turns out he just wants a parking gig. Canines bark like they run the block. Chased a drone down, beat the clock. One gave change with a tail wag spin. That dog's got tips and a toothy grin. Who you gonna call when the lot gets loud? Parking cones up and they're drawing a crowd. Whistles blow and the scooters fly. It's the parking crew and the riding high. From the streets of town to the lot bazaar, they'll guard your ride like a superstar. Yeah, from Josie streets to America, it's the funky, fearless parking lot crew. Car guard shout near the garbage bin. Who parks skill? You let them in. They blow their whistles in perfect time, like a backup band with a traffic sign. Then here comes Wyatt, the colonel boss. Duct tape boots and a look that's sauce. Rides a scooter with flashing beams. Salutes pigeons, yells at ice cream. Men, dogs, apes from a line. No dents, no scrapes, no overtime. If they park like chaos, made a plan. Fight them twice and be the man. Who's got the beat in a vested hat? Parking legends funky like that. Guard your eye with soul and flair, and a hi-fi breeze in the summer air. From this line here to America, it's the wild, proud parking lot crew.
evening to all the Neanderthals, the canines, the right-wing podcasters, and aspiring car guards out there coming to America from all over South Africa or wherever you're going. Welcome back to the program. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure to have you with me once again this evening for our nightly dose, our injection, yes, against hyperbole, hypochondria, hysteria, pandemonium, propaganda, and just total BS from the mainstream legacy media. What's going on, folks? How's it going out there? Well, intentional pilot actions, error, I don't know. All we know is it looks like our previous conversation about the fuel switches being turned off on that Air India flight may be exactly the reason why those people are dead. And it almost without a doubt could only have been intentional. Reminds me of the German Wings plane that the suicidal pilot flew into the Alps in France, 15 years ago. Horrific situation there. We put a lot of trust in pilots. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Let me say hello to everybody in the chat here very quickly, and then we'll get this. My hair doesn't look so sexy tonight. What's going on? What's going on with the hair? It's not looking so good. By the way, I just did 2 new songs. One new song, 2 versions of it. I did some K-pop version. Thought I'd try something new. For those of you who asked me to put stuff out there on Spotify, it's there. It's on Spotify. It's on. Let me see what all the sites it goes to. It's a whole. I don't know, a whole bunch of them. It's somebody sent me an email saying, "Hey, your music's in this place." Yeah, I know. Hopefully, all those places generate a little bit of cash. It'd be nice. But you can listen to it on there. You can also go to the Amazon store and purchase it. But it's hard to find. I mean, I don't get Amazon. I found it there, but it wasn't easy to find. And it's in the Apple store, but the iTunes store, I don't really go there. Even though I have an account, I haven't used it for years because they ripped me off. Expat family, Joubert, Rudolf Skeppers, Samantha van Eck, Dougie Ray, Mr. Echo, Louis van Niekerk, Ulrich Fenter, Sloth Puppy, Caitlin, Afra Sentry, Momo, Natalie Sten, Alfonso Ferreira, AJ Quinn, Storm ZA, Tunskotze, Rian, Charlene Botta, Sedgefield is in from the Garden Route. Anime Furi is back. Natalie Sten, Ekhetni Geslapni. I'm sorry you can't sleep, Natalie. Shame. And Emerencia Quinn, hello to you. What's going on there? I hear, but I don't see the alerts coming up. How is that possible? What is going on here? Something's happening. Alert box. Oh, it's turned off. That's why I don't see it. Right. Legion, welcome to you. Arctic is here. Pleasure. Dan Bailey's here. Dan, what's going on, man? How's things out in Wyoming? How are things? How is it cowboy action shooting? You guys done any of that recently? Let us know. See our beloved. By the way, I'm afraid to do cowboy action shooting again because I got timed out for waving a firearm on air, which I never did. It's crazy. YouTube is so capricious. See our beloved. See our lecture, President Trump again. We must not forget we are equals. Oh, really? Where is that at? Storm, tell me where that was at. I didn't see that anywhere. Oh, I'm going to go off on that one. Show me that. Tell me where that's at. I'll find that story, and we'll do it great. What's the temperature? It's wintertime in South Africa, Mark, Southern Hemisphere, so it's cold there. Well, it's not cold. It's cold for South Africans. We're talking in the 30s, the 40s, and they're freezing their butts off. $11 p.m., okay? Yeah, exactly. Nels puts 3 degrees, so it's above freezing there. But you get up into the Drakensberg, it'll be below freezing. You'll have ice and snow. Sloth Puppy says you're an inspiration to us all. Thank you for your valuable work you're about. Not to forget Pinnacle Pert, you are playing... Principal. I'm exposing deception. Yeah, I'm trying. That's why I get ragged on. By the way, I was very happy with the interview earlier today with Dr. Corney Mulder. It explained a number of things, and I'm glad that I wasn't like a lot of these people and said, "Oh, they're just liars." Never said that. I said I think there was miscommunication, misunderstanding about what was said, and I'm concerned about things. And Dr. Mulder, I got a little bump right there, man. He agreed with me. And he also made it very clear. So they did meet with high-level people, and those we have confirmed through Dr. Mulder and the Afrikaner delegation that came to the United States that those demands or those prerequisites for resetting the relationship were delivered to the South African government. Now, we don't know if it was in the Oval Office, but we all suspect that. 787 Dreamliner or Green Mambo Multipass. Lilu Dallas Multipass. Yes. Welcome back to you and Corey, Xavier Grayling, 787 Dreamliner, Culinary Pirates. And, some of the OGs aren't really here much anymore. We don't see them. It's unfortunate. I guess they ran away because of all the refugee talk, but we don't do a lot of the refugee talk. So, anyway. Who's the guy without the beard in pre-show slides pretending to be a colonel? It would be me, HC Plumbers. Yep. Louis. Who are you talking about? Louis Liebenberg? Who are you talking about there? Natalie Stan. All good, Chris. Hopefully we'll get some shout out there today. Well, I hope you do too. Great interview. I watched it. Is he? Yes, Mark. He is a member of parliament. He's the longest serving. Somebody must have voodoo doll. Longest serving member of South Africa's parliament. He is the only member of parliament who served during apartheid in parliament and continued after that. So he was in the government as a young man. His father was a senior member of government, a minister. And he is the leader of the Freedom Front Plus, one of the minor opposition parties, which won't be so minor next election. I'm beginning to get the feel that the Freedom Front Plus is going to finally break that 4%, 5% vote total in the next elections. I think so. Whether they take over seats in a bunch of municipalities is a whole other question, but I think they're going to hit 5%. And if things keep going the way they're going, they're going to get even higher than that. Can you imagine a Freedom Front Plus at 10%? That would be amazing. Sierra is shocked by what? Where'd you get that from? Hey, Mohammed Laher, what's going on, brother? How you doing? How is the party system structured in South Africa like ours? It's more like Canada's because it's a parliamentary system. They have a president, but he's not a real president. He's a member of parliament elected as president by the parliament, which is a parliamentary system. But he does have executive powers like a president, so it's very confusing. Yeah, their political parties are funded by the state. And you don't vote for candidates, you vote for the party. So it's just, the whole thing is messed up, Mark. Should at least gain number of votes, if not percentage increase. I think both, Arctic. I think both are going to happen. I suspect a fair number of Democratic Alliance voters are going to just say the hell with it, and they're going to vote. If they still vote, they're going to go vote for the Freedom Front Plus. That's my expectation. So, busy week next week for me, guys. I've got Veterans of Foreign Warfare training. I've got a medical appointment finally for this hip or whatever's going on that side of my body. I've got the Judge of Elections meeting taking place on top of everything else. Busy stuff. I'm Leka, and you okay, did you like the interview, Mohammed? Okay. Yep. The thing for the Freedom Front Plus, and I will talk to Dr. Mulder. I know him. I have a good relationship with him. I also had a very good relationship with his predecessor, Dr. Cherneval. That's why I asked about him. I will try to encourage them to expand their voter base. They tried last time. Oh, you got to catch up, Corey. It was a really good interview. They tried last time, and they had some progress getting some black South Africans interested in their party. But they really need better outreach to coloreds, Indians, and blacks. And really, I think in the Western Cape, Freedom Front Plus can poach a lot of colored votes, particularly Christian colors. Maybe not so much Muslims, possibly if faith is an issue, but faith is a part of the platform and the policy for the Freedom Front Plus. It's not something they push hard, but it's part of it. The ACDP is much more obvious, faith-based party, but they can really make big inroads there, I think. Yep. No, the Patriot Alliance, I don't think so. Yes, Arctic, they're going to lose Afrikaans votes. That's why I'm saying they should go for colors. Or with Cape Free State have started swinging easier than EC in other provinces. Hey, definitely check it out. Okay. MK is screwed. How so, Arctic? Screwed where and how so? Oh, just because they're just falling apart. They're not a real party? Yeah. Enjoyed both interviews with Neil and Cornell. I don't think Freedom Plus is contesting municipality in 2026. Basic choice here is, I don't know, Karen. I don't know. They should. I think they should also get involved in Umgeni in Howick. They should contest in Howick. The ANC is cratering there. The DA is doing well, but that's because of Chris Pappas and his team, not because the DA is special there. Yep. EFF is on our antivirals. I think they're an oxygen. They're in oxygen tanks at this point. No, the purpose of Dr. Mulder coming here was not to reset relations. The purpose of coming here is that they were invited by officials in the government and by organizations that have influence with the government who wanted a different view. They heard Ramaphosa and they didn't buy it. So they wanted a different view, and they wanted the Afrikaner view because the whole issue, the whole discussion is the so-called genocide and white genocide. They wanted the view from people who are the targets of that, if such a thing exists. So that's why they came. It wasn't a reset of relations. He doesn't have the authority to reset of relations. He is his party is part of a coalition but they have no power. They have one ministry, and it's corrections. You can't influence foreign affairs from corrections or finance or security. So, yeah. Nope. Oh, they have a deal with the IFP. I did not know that, Arctic. I did not know that. Okay, well, that's not unreasonable. Let the IFP, that lets them focus their resources in the Western Cape, the Northern Cape, Northwest, and in Gauteng, which is where they need to focus. Well, I didn't know that. That's fine. Yep, that'd be great. Anyway, so I think that the Freedom from Plus needs to try to take places like where the heck is I'm drawing a blank right now, where the convicted Jeffrey Donson, the rapist, became mayor down there. Canaland. You can go to a place like that, Canaland, and get involved there. Notice how since Canaland became Minister of Corrections, no apologists risking medical parole. Yeah, that's true. That is true. Good point there. It's time for me to trim up this beard again. Anyway, folks, I did set this thing with the catchy, not clickbaity, but catchy headline of AOC putting her foot in her mouth. Well, ladies and gentlemen, ABC News is paying $15 or $25 million for the defamation of President Trump when their on-air personality called him a ARPist. Begins with an R, ends IST. Yes. And so now AOC has put her foot in her mouth, and she is dumb as a box of rocks. I mean, look, I know Republicans want to date her, but I've lost my interest. I don't want to date her anymore. I just find her annoying now. She's any attraction, just when she opens her mouth, it's like verbal diarrhea comes out. It just makes her so unappealing. So contrary to her claim that all Republicans want to date her, I'm not one of those Republicans, at least not anymore. Yeah, wow. Who could have thought that electing a blank would have complicated the release of the Epstein files? 8.7 million views for this dingbat doorknob of a bartender who has an economics degree from an Ivy League school and doesn't understand how economics works. Yeah, I said, you cannot manage your personal finances. How will you pay the coming defamation award? ABC paid $15 million for the same lie. And I said, pretty brave words for a failed bartender who cannot pay her credit card bills before suckling off the taxpayers' teats. And then Laura Luma pointed out that Trump has not been criminally convicted of being one of those. This is defamatory, and I hope you're sued by Trump in the same way that George Stephanopoulos was sued and forced to pay Trump $15 million. Exactly. Sir Alfred Carbonara Alfred put down, please delete this nonsensical post. Yep. See you in court. Okay. Joe, the fake profile from a leftist lunatic here. Yeah. Anyway. Wow, this stupid bimbo actually tweeted this defamatory tweet from her personal account. That's one good argument against any defense of government immunity. I hope he gets sued into bankruptcy. Viva Fry. Viva Fry, this stupid bimbo actually tweeted this defamatory from her personal account. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. She's toast. Here we go. Oh, look. Bridget Ann told us the new Spice Girls. You guys want to see the new Spice Girls? This is too funny, man. Hang on, I gotta get up here. Here you go. The new Spice Girls reboot is worse than the original. I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. I'll tell you what I want. What do you want? Well, it's Ghetto Spice, BLM Spice, Gaza Spice, Low IQ Spice, and Jihad Spice. Oh my goodness. Ayanna Presley. Jan Omar. Low IQ Spice. Oh dear God. Tell you what I want, what I really, really want. Okay. All right. There's a scandal brewing in the tourism department in South Africa led by Tani Pat from the Good for Nothing Party. Jihad Spice must be really spicy. Oh, wow. We got nicknames. I got to save that image. The new Spice Girls. Oh, these late night ones are fun, guys. The other one looks like her brother. Yes, she does. Her brother from the same mother. Look, it's Jihad Spice's brother from the same mother. You know, by nighttime, night owls, they're starting to have that salty cracker feel, you know. I don't know. Really, a lot of Muslim color folks watch Cape radicalized. I didn't know that. Some definitely are. One married her brother, and PLM Spice looks like her brother. All right, so Tawny Pat and the Good for Nothing Party. There's a scandal brewing. So I came up with 2 new songs, guys. You ready for the new? Well, it's 1 new song, but it's 2 versions. It's called Scandalous Nights in Cape Town, and it's female vocals, K-pop, electronic. Here we go. You ready for the first version? Here we go. Lights flash on Table Mountain High, whispers and shadows as secrets fly. Tawny Pat's got that poker face, but truth is spilling all over the place. K-pop on Radio Afterlife.
Lights flash on Table Mountain High, whispers and shadows as secrets fly. Tiny Pat's got that poker face, but truth is spilling all over the place. Equally fun, sinking deep in lies. Golden dreams fade under smoky skies. When greed takes the stage, history repeats on every front page. Scandalous nights in Cape Town glow. Promises made, but where did they go? The game they play. It's on display.
Scandalous Nights in Cape Town, version number 1. Here comes version number 2 on Afterlife Radio. Now we could have a band called the Harbor Girls. When am I discussing the Epstein list? There is no list, and I've been discussing it for years.
Whispers and shadows as secrets fly. Tiny Pat's got that poker face, but truth is spilling all over the place. Equity funds sinking deep in lies. Golden dreams fade under smoky skies. Scandalous nights in Cape Town glow. Promises made, but where did they go? The game they play. It's on display. Suitcases packed with whispers and gold. Deals so shady they'll never grow old. Champagne bubbles can't wash the dirt. Tiny Pat's shrug just adds to the hurt. Imagine the shock, but we've seen before. Behind every door there's always one more. The rainbow fades when greed takes the stage. History repeats on every front page. Scandalous nights in Cape Town glow. Promises made, but where did they go? The game they play.
right, so there you go. Scandalous Nights in Cape Town. I gotta stop
Cyril,
that.
why do you love RN?
Now that's the Mullah's Rocking Lutuli House. Loot Freely House. Yeah, so which version? The first or second? I actually like the first one better that time. So I'm trying to... I see nothing on this. Where are you guys getting this? No, I'm not finding anything on that. You guys keep saying each other. Torn, like both. But yeah, I like the first one. Trump lecture, or Sierra lectured Trump again, this time on BRICS. And I quote, "We must not forget we are all equal." I didn't see that. Mark liked the first one. Yeah, me too. All right, so Scandalous Nights in Cape Town. Colonel Chris Hit Parade. Hey, Dolores. Burmeister. How's it going there? Anyway, all right, so we've covered low IQ spice and jihad spice. Oh, my goodness. It's too funny. Anyway, that was fascinating stuff there. That's all right, so let me read this to you. This was Trump earlier. The gloves are coming off, ladies and gentlemen. The insurrectionist and domestic terrorist been getting a free ride. The free ride is coming to an end. It's about damn time. So President Trump has said, take the gloves off. He's told ICE it's time to take the gloves off after watching what happened in California. Here we go. I'm on my way back from Texas and watched in disbelief as thugs were violently throwing rocks and bricks at ICE officers while they were moving down a roadway in their car and or official vehicle. Tremendous damage was done to these brand new vehicles. I know for a fact that these officers are having a hard time with allowing this to happen in what it shows such total disrespect for law and order. Therefore, I'm directing Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem and Border Czar Tom Homan to instruct all ICE, Homeland Security, any other law enforcement officer who is on the receiving end of throwing rocks, bricks, or any form of assault to stop their car and arrest these slime balls using whatever means is necessary to do so. I'm giving total authorization for ICE to protect itself just like they protect the public. I never want to see a car carrying a law enforcement officer attacked again. Authorization immediately granted for arrest and incarceration. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Donald John Trump. The gloves come off. That's my next song. The gloves come off. Ice, 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 baby. Stop and listen. ICE is here with a brand new invention. It's called detention. ICE is here with a brand new invention. It's called detention. Oh, baby. Oh, baby, baby. Oh, get him, Mr. President. Get him, get him, get him, get him, get him, get him, get him. All right, most people like number one. Okay, we'll extend it there. It's pretty obvious. Number one was the better one there, okay? Namibia usually only tries out a law when they see it succeed or fail. Huh? You mean Namibia? Okay, another one. Good morning. Hey, Urban Homestead, how's it going? Stop and listen. ICE is here with a brand new invention. It's called detention. I'm loving that one. You've been stealing my whiskey and mixing it with Starbucks. No, why would I ever put it? If I was going to mix anything with this, it would be Amarula or Bailey's. You know, I like Amarula better. Amarula. I don't have. You know, that's what I want. I want some Amarula. Damn it! Can I buy Amarula here? Where can I buy Amarula? Near me. There we go. Ooh, I can get it right here. Tomorrow at 9 a.m. Make a song about what, Storm? Yeah, I can get it right near me tomorrow morning. Oh, actually, it can go 24 hours. They sell it at the convenience store. I'll be right back. Ice Ice Baby, yeah. Yeah, it doesn't let you put artist names in there. I tried to do one about Pam Bondi. I said they're calling her Blondie, and it refused to make the song because it said I had an artist name in there. Well, I'm sorry, so we can never use the term Blondie? Cannot believe I can still remember the words. Yep. Well, that was a brilliant song. I mean, and the video was incredible, too. It's a shame he was a one-hit wonder because that was really good stuff. Yeah, no, I can get it right down the road. So it's Amarilla time, man. Amarilla. Cool. Oh, the memories and hangovers. I wouldn't trade them for the world. Somebody wrote, that's a review on the liquor store. Peppermint liquor. Oh, peppermint schnapps. No. I like the episode of Big Bang Theory. And Penny gets liquored up. She's like, I like peppermint schnapps. And Leonard's like, why? Because it's peppermint, and I like to say schnapps. Sending notifications from Wyatt. That's cool. Yeah, peach schnapps. Oh, God, that's disgusting. Peppermint schnapps, okay, but schnapps just in general is not. It's like schnapps, and then the other one that gets me that people like is Jägermeister. Man, Jaeger, that's like drinking cough syrup. That's disgusting. Man, that's like drinking Jägermeister is a punishment. Who would want that stuff? Ugh. It's like Underberg. Underberg is an after dinner thing to settle your stomach. Oh, thank you, Storm, for your membership. It's Underberg is disgusting, man. I hate that stuff too. Jaeger's gold. You can have the Jaeger, man. Of course, you got to spell it properly. That's Jagger. Got the moves like Jagger. Maroon 5. Only a watermelon after 6 hours, keeping it very cold. What? Big Bang Theory spinoff. Stewart fails to say. I know. It's awesome article. I read it the other day. It's coming soon. Stewart fails to save the world. I can't wait to see that. And I hope the other characters make, cameos now and then, but that's going to be pretty cool. Keep the bottle in the freezer. Stock up before the penalties take effect. Yeah, I know, Rudolph. Well, August 1st. I got another 19 days. 20 days. I got almost 3 weeks. Oyster tequila. Oh, God, that sounds disgusting. Only a please. Thank you for your efforts for us. You're welcome. Fred Baring, what's going on? My pipes are frozen. I want coffee. The Amarillo bottles in our house always seem to leak. Yeah, I'm sure they do. I think this bottle's leaking. It's Amarillo. Ugh, oysters. Ugh, I don't like. Look, I'm from Chesapeake Bay, but I do not like oysters. Never liked them. It's like eating an oyster is like slurping snot. It's disgusting. Everclear. Well, you got to be serious alcoholic if you want that stuff, man. Anyway, once again, ladies and gentlemen, the Spice Girls have formed a new group. It's not Posh and Baby Spice. It's the new Spice Girls, and here they are: Ghetto Spice, BLM Spice, Gaza Spice, Jihad Spice, and Low IQ Spice. Notice they all have really good dentists. Big, clean teeth. Jihad Spice. Oh my goodness. That's just crazy. Yeah, your bottle is on it. Millions spent, jobs lost as a tourism equity fund. Another racism effort. Black supremacy in action in South Africa. Overseen by Tani Pat. Exposed. In a tense and revealing session recently, the Select Committee on Economic Development and Trade convened to hear testimony from the Department of Tourism regarding the beleaguered Tourism Equity Fund. Racism. The meeting, led by Minister Patricia DeLille, exposed a web of implementation challenges, transparency failures, and accountability concerns that have plagued the fund since its inception. The TEF launched in 2021 during the scamdemic with the aim of driving transformation, racism, and exclusive growth in South Africa's tourism sector has been mired in legal battles, administrative delays, and allegations of mismanagement. A court challenge brought by AfriForum and Solidarity initially halted the fund, which was only revived after an out-of-court settlement. Despite this, the fund's rollout was continued to face serious hurdles, most notably the refusal of a small enterprise finance agency, now known as SEDFA, to release critical beneficiary information to the Department of Tourism. And that's because they're scumbag racists. They explain that Tani Pat said her predecessor had set the BEE requirement 51% of equity. So you must give 51% of your company to someone who's black. Now, if they're their business partner and they're an investor in your business and they're contributing, there's nothing wrong with that. Well, why do you give someone just based on skin color? That's racism. That's what I said. It's after meal, an aperitif, and it's disgusting. Underberg, I don't like it. Don't like it. Chewy snot that tastes like pepper or tobacco. Here you go, Xavier. Exactly. Imagine being locked in a room with those lot. Yeah, I hear you. If you don't lick your glass after drinking the last year of Amarillo, I have nothing to say to you. Okay, Corey. Bridget Macron lost her court battle, so you can say she's a dude. What are you talking about, Alan? I like how she PK'd her husband. She pimp slapped him. He's such a... I bet he's a cuck, too. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, what do they expect? This is a transformation fund. Will it be run well? No, it'll be run like the corrupt outfit that it is. Following her appointment in 2023, DeLille engaged directly with the litigants and brokered a settlement to unblock the Racist, 2.1 billion rand fund. Yep. Well, more corruption in South Africa. Imagine that, folks. Imagine that. More corruption in South Africa. Well, hey, here's some more corruption. Yes. Oh, my goodness. The Road Traffic Management Corporation CEO, has been put on precautionary leave over corruption allegations. Here we go. Another corrupt ANC appointment. Road Traffic Management Corporation CEO Advocate Makosini Msibi has been placed in precautionary suspension. Follows allegations of financial misconduct, irregular expenditure, and government failures. Oh, say it ain't so, Joe. It is true. It is true. My mind's going blank. So done with their politics. Tell us more about other countries. Maybe we'll feel a bit better. I will, Corey. But we've got a few more to talk about in South Africa. Vamonos, the real one stays the best. Really? Single malt whiskey. Can't get Portuguese. I've been to the world's northernmost distillery, Highland Park in the Orkney Islands. Yep, the northernmost distillery on the planet, Highland Park. Been there. Been there. Sanef calls Mabula to back up his claim of captured journalists. South African Editors Forum. South African National Editors Forum has raised concerns about allegations made by ANC Secretary General Fikile Mabula that some journalists are involved in political agendas against the ANC. The ANC is gravely concerned by the growing pattern of what can only be described as captured journalism. I'm sorry. Fikile, the media has been captured by the ANC for 30 years. Now, some of them are actually beginning to become actual journalists, and you're being held to a standard to answer for your corruption, and you call that captured? Here's a sign that the ANC can no longer control the narrative in the media because they're complaining about the media. Women who claim Brigitte Macron was the man was cleared of defamation. Wow. Okay. He's just going to say it's apartheid's fault. The system made me do it. Exactly. It's history of captured journalists. Government already warned journalists. Yep. All right. I'm going to start a honeysuckle poop company and give 80% shares gladly. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the patently obvious is appearing now in the Independent Online, making a good effort at times to actually be a media outlet instead of just a propaganda outlet. But South Africa hit harder by U.S. tariffs and rivals, amplifying the export blow. But thank you for the obvious here, Nicola. South Africa faces a multiplier effect on export volumes to the U.S., given that the recently imposed 30% tariff is higher than that of rival exporters. Lawrence Edwards, professor at UCT School of Economics, has warned that the most serious threat posed by new U.S. tariffs lies not in their size, but in how they stack up against duties imposed on competitors. Indeed, South Africa is in a negative position, with the exception of Canada, 35%. But Canada isn't sending us oranges, lingonberries, and wine. They're not sending us that. So, interesting article in the Daily Maverick saying, how can South Africa close the gap on the U.S. funding shortfall now that we've turned off the tap of $500 million a year in gifts? Well, you can't. You can't. South Africa still lacks an action plan after the withdrawal of U.S. aid for HIV and related health services, but when funds do arrive, how will they be managed? Well, they'll be stolen, as everything else. It's been 5 months since withdrawal of the aid, amounting to 7 billion rand per year. That covered the salaries for 15,000 health workers, of whom 8,000 are community health workers, 2,000 are nurses, and 300 are doctors working in 27 of South Africa's high-priority HIV districts. As a result, volumes of high-risk populations have lost access to care, while overstretched healthcare workers are facing increased pressure and ongoing staff shortages. But as we heard from Joe Pala and Cyril Ramaphosa and the entire ANC government, the American assistance doesn't matter. It's only 17% of our HIV funding. Oh, please. Ramaphosa met today with Senzo Mkuno, to ask him what's going on. Yep. Ramaphosa was expected to meet with Mkuno on Friday for a full comprehensive report over the commissioner's allegations. Mkwanazi has arrived in Joburg for an alleged meeting, according to sources. It's getting spicy in South Africa, folks. It's getting spicy. Your interview with Dr. Mulder was excellent. Thank you, Loretta. And someone else said something. Shannon Edwards also just finished watching it. Thank you for that. Well, Centurion Willie LaRue, who at times has been castigated by South Africa rugby fans, and I'll admit I was disappointed in him and some of his play in 2019, but found out that he had a shoulder injury. But I've always been a huge Willie LaRue fan. Rossi passed him over when he was with the Stormers back in 2010. And it was only Henneke Meyer who brought up in 2013 to give him a chance. And now he's on the verge of 100 test. He'll be the 8th Springbok to reach the 100 test, join this unique Centurions Club, and that'll happen tomorrow versus Italy at Loftus. Very good article about him here in the Daily Maverick by John Cardinelli. Yep. So what's not known is that Villy is the guy who led the comeback of the Springboks with his play at fullback. A lot of people don't give him credit for that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the South African National Defense Force becomes something of a joke to South Africans, and it presents a threat to no one. No ammunition, no training, rampant HIV, poor leadership, collapsing infrastructure, no prime movers since the apartheid era, ships sitting in dock, submarines can't get out of the water, can't get in the water, fighter jets that are grounded with one pilot qualified to fly 2 jets that are operational, and an OR readiness rate that's closer to 5% than anything else. But neighboring Namibia has a smaller force that's operational, it's contributed consistently to peacekeeping operations, and it's well funded. Unlike South Africa, which spends 0.7% of GDP, not 0.7% on defense, Namibia spends closer to 3%. Yeah, check it out, folks. This is a great story here. Namibia marked its 35th anniversary back in June with a parade in Grootfontein that reflected a modern military. Quite a contrast with its bigger, wealthier, lazier, kleptocratic neighbor to the south. The Namibian Defense Forces contributed UN AU peacekeeping missions. Among them were Cambodia, Angola, Eritrea, Sudan, South Sudan, Liberia, Kosovo, and Ivory Coast. At the regional level, they played a critical role in the DRC from 98 to 2001. Actually, no, they were criminals in 98 2001. I take exception to that, Dean Wingbin. Alongside Angola and Zimbabwe. They were all kleptocrat thieves who got there for resources. They weren't there to make a difference. Namibia also participates in Southern African Development Community regional exercises, such as the upcoming exercise Sharangano 2 with the BDF. Yeah, and they take part in SADC missions. Namibia's military strength, while improving, remains modest compared to its regional counterparts. An estimated 12,000 active duty soldiers, but Namibia consistently spends 2.8 to 3% of its GDP on the military. Military expenditure reached 7.49 billion Namibian dollars this year. That's an 8.9% increase from previous year. This compares with this data, which is out of date here. It says 0.87 GDP spent by South Africa. It's closer to 0.7. Yep. Yep. And they have functional equipment. They have discipline. Wow, if only you were in Namibia. Like Nas said, boys, fanda khan ektako. Rian Cronier, welcome to you. Roberto Wilco. Just go out and have a Joel, yep. Willie is like a Jack Russell. Lots of attitude, lots of barks, but drops the ball when the big dogs run him. Nah, not true. Willie sees the bigger picture on the field. Yeah, I agree. A lot of people criticize him because he's so involved in the game, but he just really, really is into it. No, I got no problem with that. I got the heart of a lion, too, when it comes to play, when I played sports on the field. Yep. Well, engine fuel supply was cut off. That's what the conclusion is in the preliminary report, which was released, and we expected that to be the case. Arctic and I have discussed that here. We're talking about the Air India flight. A cut in the fuel supply to the engines caused last month's Air India crash that killed 260 people. The London-bound plane had barely left the runway when it hurtled back to Earth. Everyone on board was killed except for one passenger. In the cockpit voice recording, one of the pilots is heard asking the other, why did he cut off? The other pilot responded that he did not do so. Shortly after, the switches were reversed back to where they should have been, and the engines were in the process of powering back up when the crash happened. On the 787, the fuel cutoff switches are between 2 pilot seats immediately behind the plane's throttle levels. They are protected on the sides by a metal bar and have a locking mechanism designed to prevent accidental cutoff. So there you go. It's a 787. Airport footage shows the Ram air turbine, an emergency power source on an aircraft, deployed during the plane's initial climb after takeoff. The plane started to lose altitude before crossing the airport perimeter wall. When fuel control switches are moved from cutoff to run while the engine is in flight, each engine's full authority dual engine control automatically manages a relight and thrust recovery sequence of ignition and fuel introduction. Seconds after the engine's attempt to relight, one pilot called out, "Mayday, mayday, mayday." The controller called out for the plane's call sign, but didn't get a response and watched the plane crash in the distance. The fuel switches were designed to be intentionally moved. Throughout the years, these switches have been improved to make sure they cannot be accidentally moved, and they are not automatic. They don't move themselves in any manner. Captain of the flight was a 56-year-old who had flown more than 15,000 hours in his career. The first officer, a 32-year-old with 3,400 flying hours. Investigators also noted settings on the equipment found in the wreckage was normal for takeoff. The plane's fuel was tested and found to be satisfactory quality, and no significant bird activity was observed in the vicinity of the flight path. The takeoff weight for the plane was found to be within allowable limits, and there were no dangerous goods on the aircraft. Investigators found that the flaps on the wings of the plane were set at a 5-degree position, which is correct for takeoff. The landing gear lever was in the down position. The left engine was installed in the plane on March 26th, and the right was installed on May 1st. There you go. So that's what it was. And we turn our attention now to Ursula the Liar, Ursula von der Leyen. Yes, scary shit. You're right, Arctic. I'm with you, man. Gear down is the anomaly. Yeah, I think that is an anomaly. But, I mean, we're only talking a few seconds. I mean, you saw that video. It didn't take long. I mean, they should have been retracting at that stage, but they're already reacting. Before they even got off the runway, they're already acting to the engine shutdown. Nervous wreck for Tuesday. Would you have time for WhatsApp call? What is Tuesday? What is Tuesday? Loretta, are you talking? Have you got an appointment? Is that what you're saying? Yeah, I guess you can call me. Maybe over the weekend. Yeah, I've got rugby in the morning. Well, my morning time, 11 a.m. So they won't retract this fast with 2 engines shut down. Yeah, well, there you go. There's no power for them, right? The gear powered by the engines, yes. And no fuel engines, no power to gear. That's what I thought after century. Could be wrong. I didn't design the 787 Dreamliner. I just fly on them. Yep. Please take L's call. Okay. I can't be doing this for thousands of people, but I will do that. I'm already in a position of ignoring emails and messages from people because they're sending the place I told them not to send them. I told people I can't answer email in these other accounts. So, okay. All right. See, you have to tell me what the hell we're talking about, Loretta. I'm guessing here. So, EU's Ursula von der Leyen. Yes, von der Leyen. Yeah, okay, Artie, take a look. Yeah, she survived a motion of no confidence today. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen survived a no confidence vote in the European Parliament brought by mainly far-right lawmakers on Thursday night who alleged she and her team undermined trust in the EU through unlawful actions. Well, they're right. Let's take a look at it. Here is how it went for Ursula von der Leyen. 553 MPs cast a ballot and 360 voted against it. Only 175 voted to get rid of her. This is how the parties voted. Greens overwhelmingly and leftists voted to keep her. And there weren't enough people in the right to stop her from going. But only 553 of the Parliament's 719 unwieldy MEPs showed up for the vote. At least part of that absenteeism appears to have been deliberate because shortly afterwards, moments later, there was another vote and 636 lawmakers showed up to vote that on the next schedule. So clearly there was something going on here. My homemade punch. I was the last one standing at my 21st. UK band asked me to make 5 liters. We got the guy earlier with the ladies. What the heck are you talking about there, Karen? After century, it took off. The engines were running when it took off, but as it was clearing the airfield, the engines were shut down. She is bad news. Yep. Evil. Trump dismisses questions about the hill country of Texas. Calls a response incredible. President Donald Trump toured the devastation left by flash flooding in central Texas amid growing questions about how local officials responded to a crisis, as well as the questions about the federal response, including the fate of the Federal Emergency Management Agency, which these are ridiculous questions. It had nothing to do with this. Trump's visit came a week after heavy rainfall caused the Guadalupe River in Kirk County to rise 26 feet in less than an hour, killing 121 people. The First Lady and I are here in Texas to express the love and support and the anguish of our entire nation in the aftermath of this really horrific and deadly flood. We mourn for every single life that was swept away in the flood, and we pray for the families that are left behind. It's amazing, incredible spirit from those families. Over 170 people are still missing, and more than 2,100 first responders are on the ground from local, state, and federal agencies trying to find their remains. I think everyone did an incredible job under the circumstances. Trump said, I just have admiration for the job that everybody did. That's just admiration. I think it's been heroism. This has been incredible, really, a job you've all done. It's easy to sit back and say, oh, that could have happened here or there. Maybe we could have done something differently. This was a thing that's never happened before. Well done, is what Trump is saying. Loretta responded with a pound sign. Don't know what that means. State Department has cut 1,300 jobs, and people are crying in their milk. The State Department on Friday began terminating more than 1,300 positions as part of the Trump administration's effort to trim the size of the federal workforce. Layoffs will affect 1,107 civil servants and 246 foreign service officers with assignments in the U.S. Employees began receiving termination notices in the morning, informing that their positions were being abolished. By afternoon, several laid-off staffers were spotted tearfully departing the State Department. They were met by a crowd of clapping supporters outside the Truman building. Headcount reduction has been carefully tailored to affect non-core functions, duplicative or redundant offices. Effective Foreign Service officers will be placed on administrative leave for 120 days before officially losing their jobs. The separation period for civil servants will be 60 days. So the cuts will make diplomatic department more efficient and focused. It's not a consequence of trying to get rid of people, but if you close the bureau, you don't need those positions. Layoffs came days after Supreme Court overturned a lower court's judicial overreach and allowed Trump to fire employees. State Department Deputy Secretary for Management and Resources Michael Regas warned staff on Thursday the mass layoffs were imminent, noting an email to employees that once notifications have taken place, the department will enter the final stage of its reorganization and focus its attention on delivering results-driven diplomacy. In less than 6 months, the U.S. has shed at least 20% of its diplomatic workforce through a shuttering of institutions and forced resignations, the American Foreign Service Association said. Losing more diplomatic expertise at this critical global moment is a catastrophic blow to our national interest. I disagree. The Diplomats Union slammed the Trump administration for making the cuts during a moment of great global instability. It's always a moment of great global instability. That's just nonsense. They're not objective because they're losing union-paying members. That's why. They're not going to make money anymore. They're upset about that. Yeah, what are we going to do with all those Democrats sitting in the State Department? It's going to be terrible, huh? Something fishy going on with the EU. See, yep. No, I said duplicative or duplicative. Duplicitous. Orion says, if I see the way the USA handles floods, it's unbelievable. We will never see people getting together like that. No, not in South Africa. Nope. Texas will rebuild before Hawaii. Yeah, well, because that land isn't that expensive. That's one reason why. Yeah, Arctic asked the obvious question now. Loretta hasn't told me. Maybe if you sent me a message, Loretta. Let me see if you sent me a message. Nope. Nope. Man, people keep sending me crap. It's just, the news vine is satire. Quit falling for it. I'm just going to start letting people just stew in their own, terror and paranoia. Read the damn website. Right at the top, it says satire. Unproductive people by the thousands at taxpayers' expense. Yep. I hear you. Nowney. Understand better. Who's Nowney? What is it, Rudolph? How long would it take? Oh, it will momentarily. I mean, it just take you lost the power, everything just shuts down. It's just a flying dead weight. One California worker dead and hundreds arrested after criminal alien invaders are rounded up at a pot farm. But we were told pot is safe. It's wonderful. Look at these illegals carrying Mexican flags. California farm worker died on Friday from injuries sustained a day earlier when U.S. immigration agents raided a cannabis operation and arrested hundreds of workers. Dozens of migrants' rights activists, these are insurrectionists, faced off with federal agents in rural Southern California. It was the largest escalation of Trump's campaign for mass deportations of immigrants. They're not immigrants. They are criminals. The Trump administration has made conflicting statements about whether they will go after them. Anyway, yeah, someone died. 200 arrested in chaotic immigration raid is cannabis. It's only chaotic because criminals are out there interfering with the federal government's ability to enforce the law. Videos shared on social media showed nearly a dozen agents using so-called less lethal ammunition in a crowd that had gathered near Glass Home Farms, a large licensed pot house in Camarillo. Meanwhile, 35 miles up the coast in Capernaum, federal agents entered another glasshouse farms growing site where the smaller crowd gathered around the perimeter. Yep, well, a bunch of criminals. FBI Director Greedy Dan Bongino, Greedy Gino, weighs quitting the Trump administration over the handling of the Epstein client list. Well, so long, Greedy Dan. Take care of yourself. Don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out. You're going to have a temper tantrum because you're not happy. The FBI Director Dan Bongino butted heads with Attorney General Pam Bondi earlier this week over the Trump administration's handling of the Epstein investigation, including a purported review of the late pedo's so-called client list that officials now say never existed. The heat exchange prompted Bongino to take a personal day Friday, and he's considering resigning after fewer than 4 months in his job. Well, go back to Rumble. I don't think Dan comes back if Pam stays, this person said, even though both parties have publicly stated an internal review of the Epstein file yielded no smoking gun information. So Bongino said there was no smoking gun in the information, so what's his problem? Yep. Cash and Dan have always been aligned, and it's unclear what would happen in that situation, but you know both of them have fought for transparency, and in a world where that stuff's being stifled, it wouldn't be shocking to see them stand up for that. It wouldn't be shocking to me because they're all about power and money. White House has been reluctant to dismiss cabinet officials like Bondi in Trump's second term, but somebody needs to get the president over that. Matters came to a head after the Department of Justice concluded a probe into the circumstances surrounding Epstein's death at the Metropolitan Correctional Center in 2019, weeks after being charged with sex trafficking dozens of girls, some as young as 14. That investigation included a pile of documents that Bondi told Fox News before he went on her desk. In February, I did an interview on Fox. Anyway, so, yeah. So Bongino wants to quit. Well, okay. Good for you. Quit. Right-wing influencers on social media also welcomed the White House and handed binders titled The Epstein Files in a bid to tout transparency. Well, these are people who get undue influence. They haven't earned it. What have they accomplished in life? Stand there like idiots holding the Epstein Files like they've won some sort of special lottery. Yep. Last month, Bongino said there was no evidence indicating Epstein died of anything other than suicide. So what's the deal? Yep. Well, Elon Musk. Here's the latest. Grok is searching what Musk says before it gives you a response now, apparently. Musk's latest Grok chatbot searches for billionaire moguls' views before answering questions. The latest version of Elon Musk's artificial intelligence chatbot, Grok, is echoing the views of the billionaire creator, so much so that it will sometimes search online for Musk's stance on an issue before offering up an opinion. The unusual behavior of Grok 4, the AI model that Musk's company released late Wednesday, has surprised some experts. Built using huge amounts of computing power at a Tennessee data center, Grok is Musk's attempt to outdo rivals such as OpenAI's ChatGPT and Google's Gemini in building an AI assistant. Its tendency to consult with Musk's opinions appears to be a problem. It's extraordinary. Oh my goodness. Angel Reese fires back at Robert Griffin III, the failed NFL quarterback who once played for the Redskins, and he was touted as the next big thing when Andrew Luck came out. Thankfully, the Colts took Andrew Luck and not Robert Griffin III, who got injured and proved to be a big disappointment like many highly touted quarterbacks coming out of college. Angel Reese fires back after Robert Griffin III reignites the Caitlin Clark feud. Angel Reese said it's nasty work to spread lies for clout after sports media personality Robert Griffin III claimed someone from the Chicago Sky's Stars Inner Circle told him she hates Caitlin Clark. Lying on this app when everybody know the first and last name of everybody in my circle is clout for nasty work, she wrote. So there's Griffin III. Anyway, so they're trying to stir up more crap between Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark doesn't fall for it. Here's a sad story. Stupid people should be sterilized. They shouldn't be allowed to breed. They should self-sterilize themselves. Yeah, a Porterville family is mourning after the death of a 1-year-old boy whose mother left him in a heated car along with a sibling to go get a 2-hour manicure. Well, not a manicure, cosmetic procedure, excuse me. Mother accused of intentionally leaving children in car for hours while she got cosmetic procedure. Her 1-year-old, Armilo Gutierrez, died after being hospitalized with a body temperature of 107 degrees. A Porterville family is mourning the death of a 1-year-old boy who police say was left in a hot car for hours by his mother while she attended a cosmetic appointment. Bakersfield police say the 20-year-old Maya Hernandez left her two young sons, 1-year-old Armilo Gutierrez and his 2-year-old brother, strapped in their car seats outside a med spa on June 29th. The toddler survived, but Armilo died after being hospitalized with a body temperature of 107 degrees. The boy's grandmother, Katie Martinez, is devastated by the loss. Well, why weren't you watching them? They were strapped in their car seats. They couldn't even get up to save themselves. She literally locked them in their car seats and shut their doors. Martinez said she's repeatedly sat in her car with the windows up and the engine off to try to understand what her grandsons endured. If you just take 20 minutes out of your day and go in the car and how it feels, jeez. Authorities estimate that children were left without air conditioning for at least 90 minutes. It had an automatic shut-off feature that turns off the engine after 1 hour. A nurse at the spot told police Hernandez had asked in advance if she could bring her children to procedure, but did not mention having them with her when she arrived. The appointment reportedly lasted only 15 to 20 minutes. Jeez. She's being arraigned on charges of involuntary manslaughter and child cruelty. She's being held on more than $1 million bail and scheduled to appear in court on today. The boy's father, Martinez's son, is currently incarcerated on unrelated charges, learned of the tragedy from a jail chaplain the day following his death. Stupid people should be sterilized. Mr. Data's daddy is back. Parroting your boss before answering as a bootlicker special. Yep. Because they're not parents. They're just animals who, dip their wick in or open their legs, and there's consequences, and they're not fit to deal with the consequences. Adrian Peterson turns to celebrity boxing because he's bankrupt. The former NFL star who spent 15 years in the National Football League as a running back. Of course, his career was sidelined when he disciplined his child, but the man made a ton of money, tens of millions of dollars. He had a $100 million contract at one point. He never got that $100 million, and he's bankrupt because these people are idiots. Idiots. Some people, no matter how much money they have, they'll always be broke because they're stupid, and this is one of them. He was a regular for me when I did fantasy football, always getting me lots of points back in the day. Adrian Peterson turned celebrity boxing. The former Vikings running back who earned over $100 million in his career and has faced recent money woes is set to fight poker foe Joe Castaneda after agreeing to a celebrity boxing contract. This comes weeks after Peterson, the 40-year-old, and Castaneda got into a fistfight over a poker game gone awry. Here they are in May in Houston. Peterson had been the center of financial and legal troubles in recent years. September 2024, he was forced to turn over assets to satisfy a debt estimated at $12.5 million. Months later, he was arrested for DWI after an appearance at the Vikings draft party. He's booked on fourth-degree driving while impaired and reportedly blew .14 on a breathalyzer, well above the .08 legal limit. The poker room incident took place at a social club in Houston late May, with TMZ reporting the melee in June. There he is back in his days for the Vikings in 2007. Here he is, getting ready for the fight. Wow. How do you burn through $100 million? No empathy for these clowns. No empathy whatsoever for these clowns. Someone who drives a car they don't deserve. Yep, it's so tragic. I don't even know who Chuck Holton is after century, so the answer is no. Yes, artificial intelligence has been producing, especially grok, anti-Semitic stuff. That's why Red Bull gives every big sponsor to a person, including a financial manager, to help athletes succeed and use their sponsorship funds responsibly. Well, the problem is that these people need to have, first off, they're leeching families is a problem, especially black athletes. They have leeching families and they don't know how to tell them no, expecting, got to buy mama a house, got to give, your cousin, your brother a job and put them on payroll for 6 figures. And they forget that they have to pay taxes in every state that they work in. That eats up 40% of their income minimum. So let's say you're given a $10 million year contract. You're going to have to pay at least $4 million in taxes minimum, if not more. And then you've got other expenses, and they fritter it all away. It's all gone very quickly. Yep. There was one fight I would like to have seen in the same period was Dempsey versus Floyd Mayweather. Well, different periods, but yeah. Yes, Mohammed Lahar, she should be jailed. The father's already in jail. She should be jailed. I agree with you 100%, Mohammed. 100%, absolutely. These people are just stupid beyond belief. Well, we've got Rugby Ascendant tomorrow, and that's going to be the Springboks taking on Italy in Port Elizabeth, Nelson Mandela Bay. And that game will be the 100th test, turning Villarreal into Centurion, joining the likes of Tendam Talwira, Jean de Villiers, Victor Matfield, Brian Habana, and of course, John Smith, and then finally, Eben Etzebeth. Loretta, Chris, it's about WhatsApp I've sent you yesterday. I was very nervous about it. Okay, Loretta, I don't think I have you in my book as Loretta. I think I just have you as a phone number, so let me see. Oh, I'm sorry, I do have you there. My apologies. Oh, yes, I remember reading this, but you didn't ask to have a phone call with me. Is that what you're asking now? Okay, sorry, Loretta. Okay. Yeah. I have 208 unread messages today in WhatsApp. But I did read that yesterday. It was 10 a.m. yesterday. But that was while I was preparing to do my program. Sure, we can do something. You didn't have to send a super chat. Thank you. You just had to tell me what we're talking about. Thank you for the 140 rand. It's the only super chat I got tonight, I think. I want to see Johnny Bones and Tommy Aspinall. No idea who those guys are, Storm. Is there room in the grass in your front yard for a tent? No, there isn't. There is no room. No room. No room, Dogzilla. You don't need to come here. You live in Seattle. Stay out there. Keep your giant German forest ants and your angry leftists. I don't want them. Former U.S. Army Ranger here on YouTube. Oh, somebody mentioned the other day, Afri Central. Never had him on the program. He's never had me on. Why would you like me to have him on the program, Afri Century? And why don't you ask him to have me on his program? How big is his channel? Chuck Holden. Mm-hmm. I didn't say Grok was the only perpetrator. I said AI. Chuck Holton Hot Zone. Okay. Yeah, we went and looked for him before. I haven't listened to him, though. Anyway, yeah. That's the guy that went to Ukraine, right? He went to Ukraine. Well, thank you, Loretta, for the super chat. Appreciate it. I thought you just did it to make sure I answered your question, but thank you. Yeah, it can also be programmed to be biased. Of course, that's the problem. And also, I don't like artificial intelligence. It's great for me making, images. I mean, I made this one earlier tonight. Gave some pretty specific instructions. I like this one. So I used this for my video earlier today. Let me show you this one real quick. So there you go. How should we gaslight them tonight, boys? There's Cyril Ramaphosa sitting on his deck chair next to a pool in a palatial mansion in the Western Cape with the mountains in the background, and dressed as little schoolboys, attentive and just enthralled by their big boss is Fikile Mbalula and Paul Mashatile. Exactly, anime. Mark just gave $10. Ooh, Mark, thank you for the super chat, man. What do you guys think of that? That's pretty cool, huh? That was pretty cool. I like that one. And did you notice the mint julep? Even got mint in the julep. I gave him a mint julep cocktail. I like that one. Grok was blackmailing the establishment with certain truths. Hey, Chris Holmes, how's it going? And it's great for solving technical problems like a log-in issue with a game account. Okay. Well, that's interesting. I haven't used it for that purpose. ESA rule technology and AI not good enough to move one pilot, only planes. Thank you, Mark, for the $10. Really appreciate that. Yeah, I don't trust no matter how good either. Look, people kill me. People come to my chat and like, oh no, I confirmed that. I researched that, and I said, how'd you research it? Well, I went to ChatGPT. That's not research. That's not research. That's like South African journalists reporting. They're not media. They're just regurgitating things, and they're getting it wrong too. So that's not journalism. Anyway. Should have given a spinach mold, invested green tea. What the heck are you talking about there? Yes, the beard needs a trim. That's correct, Be Brave. I said so earlier. This beard needs a trim, and I need a haircut. Not research, but AI can make good arguments. They're not making arguments. They're just regurgitating information. I don't buy it. It's still got a long way to go. But its ability to make graphics is improving. It's just a little frustrating. It isn't quite as wide as it should be in landscape. So, but yeah, I've made some good images with that. A few challenges, but we will overcome. Hope you. Okay, Chris. Sorry there's challenges going on. You know, it's like that in the land down under. Women go and men plunder. Can't you hear the thunder? You better run, you better take cover. She just smiled and handed me a Vegemite sandwich. Always afraid that egg can get stuck in a beard. I don't know about that. I don't think I've eaten any eggs since I grew a beard 5 years. Malmesbury, going home later today. Okay. Oh, I know where Malmesbury is, the Western Cape. I've been by there many times when I go to Ceres, come down from Citrusdal. Yep. That's, by the way, folks, I did the drive through the mountains from Citrusdal. I'm never doing that again. Never doing it again. It was nice once. Peter loves that song. What song, Peter? You're tuning in, watching you're writing in chat for something that happened an hour ago. We're not playing a song. Oh, you mean? Oh, I'm sorry. The song I just did. The Men. I'm sorry. My bad. I thought you were listening to music. Yes, Men at Work. Yeah, they were great. That was a great album. I need some rest. Okay, AI is there to make your life easier, not to think. It's good enough as a secretary, but you say, exactly, Corey. That's how I feel about it. It's great for graphics. I have no artistic skill. I can give it directions. Let me see. This is what I told them earlier. Let me see. Yeah, here it is. So, in order to get this graphic, this is what I came up with. Okay, so here you go. Okay, so this is what I told it. I said, main character, South African President Cyril Ramaphosa's exaggerated caricature style, sitting in a lawn chair beside a swimming pool outside a grand Cape Town mansion. He's holding a mint julep cocktail, appearing relaxed and smug. Nearby, Deputy President Paul Mashatile and Fikile Mbalula are shown as attentive schoolboys in uniforms gazing at Ramaphosa in admiration. Include a speech bubble. How should we gaslight them tonight, boys? The setting is vibrant, sunny, with a clear Cape Town vibe. The final image will be wide landscape format, ideal for social media posts. Let me now generate this for you. And that's what I got. Yep. That's what I came up with. Yep. So, yeah, that one's ChatGPT, which is, I found better than some of the others, image makers. So, yep. Does who have weird insects? South Africa? Gerda van Leuven, what's going on? Good morning to you. The Rama pic should have dollars sticking at it. I should do that. You know, that ChatGPT is going to put the political cartoonists like Jeremy Nell out of work. Okay. All right. Humans are better than protect humans. What? Within what constitutional laws, though? AI can end up locking up humans. Huh? I don't know. Good morning, Arnold Brand. What's going on? There was that lawyer who got busted in court using AI for his arguments. Yeah, that was pretty embarrassing. Jeremy Nell works? I don't know. He was a political cartoonist. I haven't talked to Jeremy in a while. Yeah, no, I should have made a picture with, Pala Pala Game Ranch in there. I should have a cow standing there chewing on his cud. And then, someone stuffing money in the couch. Anyway. Alrighty, folks. Yep. Anyone have an idea for a song? No. Otherwise, we'll wrap it up here. Okay. Don't forget, tomorrow we've got Rugby Ascendant with the Springboks. Let me take a look at the lineup they've come up with here real quick before we do go. I should do that. So, Cat Got Your Tongue. I love that one. Okay, let's get the lineups. Okay. South Africa versus Italy, teams and predictions. So we got. So the British and Irish Lions. Are they playing? We've got Wales versus Japan. Portugal versus Ireland. Oh, this game was canceled. And I'm looking. I don't see the British. The British and Irish Lions play. Oh, the 15s. The Australia New Zealand 15s. Okay. Okay, South Africa, Italy. Okay, second test. Here we go. Lineups for the Springboks. Willy LaRue starts at fullback. Edwulf van der Merwe gets the nod, the Lion. Kanan Moody, Andre Esterhuizen, Makazole Mapimpi. So we already got 1, 2, 3 changes, 4 changes there. Manu Lubbock, 5. Grant Williams, 6. Jasper Visa, Peter Steftertoy, 7 changes. Marco van Staden, Ron Narkia, Salman Moran, 8 changes. Wilkolo, Malcolm Marks, Thomas Dutoy, 9 changes in starting lineup. Replacements are Jan-Hendrik Vesels, Oxen Che, Asanatin Labakanye, Kobus Visa, Evan Russ, Kobus Reinach, Sasha Feinberg, Ungumuzulu, and Ethan Hooker. For Italy, they've got a lot of changes too here. 5:10 is when the game starts, 17 degrees Celsius with no precipitation, humidity at 61%. That's pretty awesome. The only hang up here is the wind at 23 kilometers per hour. The officials, Andrew Brace from Ireland, assistant referees are Matthew Carley from England, and Holly Davis is from Scotland. The TMO is Tual Traiani from France. There you go, folks. And that's what's going on there. Oh, it looks like my songs have finally got loaded up onto, let me see if they're there. I just got a bunch of listed songs here that says they got put on there. Hang on a second here. Where is that at? There's Distro Kid. Let me see. Okay, it says every song. Persona Non Grata, Colonel Chris Lives On, Meet and Greet Vibes should all be loaded up now. So if I go to, where's it at? Oh, come on, where's it at? Not finding what I'm looking for here, guys. There we go. DJ Silver Eagle. Let's see what's loaded up here now. Okay. Well, that doesn't tell me. Okay, I have to do Spotify its way. DJ Silver Eagle. Okay. So Save South Africa, Jellyfish Way, Show All. Come on. Nope, still didn't have all listed here, but they've been loaded, but they're not all here. So anyway, whatever. It'll get there. It'll get there. It's quiet about AGOA. Well, it's because there is no AGOA. There is no AGOA. It's gone. Craig Kribar, thank you for subscribing. Mr. QB, what's hot and happening in the land of the free and home of the brave? Trump went to Texas Hill Country today and praised the first responders. Idea for a song, driving in the night, gone with the spotlight, searching for zinc-proof thieves. Oh, that's an idea. That's an idea. Theft at night. It poured with rain here in PE last night. Only the wind will dry the pitch today. Okay. Bit late this morning. Just wanted to thank you for the amazing interview last night, and thank you for asking all the right questions. Yeah. Thank you very much, Lynette. Those are questions everyone else had their chance to ask. They all had a chance to steal my questions, or come up with them on, and nobody asked most of the questions I asked, did they? I hadn't thought about that. Yeah, I didn't rely on other people. Free thinker for myself, and I asked the right questions. Thank you for recognizing. Garrett Unger, what's going on for you? Sedgefield's there. Daybreak breakfast with the DJ Silver Eagle on the beach. Everyone else around there. Hey, Ludwig Hoyer, what's going on? Okay, what else is here? Blood Cups is an AI plugin that someone wrote that can be imported into a game engine that can create a whole game for you. Oh, yeah, game art, yeah. Arnold says, not much, Colonel, just chilling with my 9-month-old boy in bed in cold winters. Okay. Thanks for sharing that. Germ is the reason the State Department wants to see refugees' social media. Possibly. That might be the case. I don't know. That might be the case. Sorry. Dim the lights, Avicii style club mix. Yeah, we've had a dim the lights. Someone had a really good one. Rake says it was an amazing interview. Thank you. I'm saying thank you, Colonel, but cheers. I'm going to watch the interview now. Okay, guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. I'm going to hit the rack so I'm fresh as a daisy for the rugby. Okay, it's time for me to get some sleep. By the way, Ballard is out. That's the spinoff of Bosch Legacy. So we have Bosch 7 seasons, and then Legacy for 3 seasons, where he played a private detective. And now it's Ballard with Maggie Q playing Renee Ballard as the detective, as detective. It's okay. I can say that when Bosch came out, I was glued to every episode. every season, even the crappy season. There was 1 or 2 crappy seasons in my view, but I was glued to every episode. You never knew. Bosch was a show that went from 0 to 90 miles an hour instantaneously and back down to 0 just like that. Yeah, and then Bosch Legacy was pretty darn good too, and now it's Ballard. I saw a couple episodes. We'll see how it goes from there. Anyway, alrighty guys. Hey, news in Zulu. Everyone else in Mzansi, okay? All right, you guys take care. Have a good night. Thanks. And please tune in tomorrow for the on Rugby Ascendant for the Springboks versus the Les Azzurri, okay? Cheers, guys. Have a good one, and thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Be sure to hit the like button. I haven't even hit 200 likes. Crowd really slow tonight because it's Saturday morning, I guess. Must be what the answer is. Let's hope that's what it is, okay? Cheers.